Handmade Story. Welcome back to another video here at my YouTube channel. I'm happy you're here and I hope you're all doing well today. Today's video is all about some fun folding techniques for your cards and a fun way to add a little creativity to your projects. I only have 2 cards to share today. This will be the first card we do today. It is just a fun lever fold card. It looks much more complicated than it is. It really is easy to put together. So we'll walk you through the steps on how to do that first. And then we will do this card here. This is called a joy fold card. You have probably seen this before. Super easy to do. We're going to start with some stenciling. And as you can see, I'm already knee deep into this because when I was doing this, I realized that I had forgot to hit the record button and then had to pause and get that sorted out. I'm just taking the pigment inks that are in the My Monthly Hero Arts kit for today that I'm using. And I just laid down my stencil and I'm just very quickly laying down a little semi rainbow of color here. Sped that up a little bit just because I didn't want to spend a lot of time. I apologize for the shaky camera. My table, as you know, my table shakes a lot when I ink blend, and it looks, even more uh, wonky when I speed up the film. In the kit also was some clear embossing powder, and because the ink is a pigment ink, it stays wet. So I decided to take advantage of that, and I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle some embossing powder over that. And then I pull that off to the side. I heat set it, and I have this nice shiny look right here. I apologize. As I said, when I first started, I did not realize my filming was not on. So I took that stencil panel and I cut it down to 3 strips measuring 1 5/8 by 3 3/4. It's important that you keep it all in order because we will need to put it back together in order on the front of our card. As I said, I'm using this month's My Monthly Hero kit from Hero Arts. I'm going to use this bicycle and some of the sentiments that are on there and some of the other little cute elements. I went ahead and pulled those off, but I wanted to show you the set. This is for the inside panel of the card. I'm just going to quickly rub my fingers along there. This is a good trick if you have brand new polymer stamps. Just kind of grumming it up or grinding it up with your fingers can help you get a little bit of a better impression. You kind of just want to rub off that factory newness off of it. So this is the little grass layer. I'm going to just close my door and I'll pick that up. And then came in with some Simon Says Stamp green leaf ink. And I'm just going to put some ink on that. And while I'm doing that, again, we'll just kind of back up a little bit. I know the beginning of the video was a little wonky. I'm gonna make sure and have all of the measurements for you, either linked or in the description, and also in the blog post that goes with that. So don't worry if you are a little lost right now. Like I said, the filming was a little wonky, little user technical difficulties, but it was too far into it to go back and start redoing stuff. So just going to get that really good impression there, push that down. And I'm not too worried about that bottom piece. I can always trim that off. Before I remove that though, off of my mat, I'm going to go ahead and build up the rest of my little scene. There's some clouds in there and then the little hearts and little flowers and things. And I just made myself a little arrangement. The sentiment says, riding by with a basket full of good wishes. And that will go really cute with our little bicycle theme, or bicycle image that we'll put onto the front of our card. So I just kind of took my time and then going to use some Distress Oxide inks and go in. And because I have them on my Misty, I can just do all the stamping at one time. I just use various pinks and blues and greens to go with the theme of the card. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with some of the smaller, tiny little flowers, and I'm just going to build up a little, tiny little flower garden, just speeding through this pretty quickly. I did some hearts up in the sky. Just made a fun spring scene here. I think that oxide colors I used were Squeeze the Lemonade, Peacock Feathers, and picked raspberry for no, I apologize. I think it was Worn lipstick for my pink color there. So I'll zoom in here just a little bit. Not going to spend a lot of time on this. Like I said, I just sort of randomly stamped some of those flowers with my little tiny block. I didn't feel like using the Misty and all that, so because they were just such tiny little images. And so I just, like I said, just stamping a few little flowers, building a little flower garden there. And then I decided I didn't want them to be just these random floating flowers. So I'm just taking a quick green pencil and I'm just going to draw some squiggly lines to make some tiny little stems for my flowers in the grass there because, you can't just have flowers floating around. So super easy. That done. And then I think I just felt like there needed to be one more little heart up there in the corner. So did that. And that is going to be in the center of the card when we open it up. The card base measures 5 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 1 3/4 and 3 1/2. So, and then you'll turn it and you'll rotate it and you'll repeat the same process. So then we'll do this accordion type fold here. I'll have better pictures and more explanation in the blog post that goes with this. Like I said, this was part of the card that I did and the recording was on. So hopefully you can see how that is coming together. In addition to your card base, you're going to need 3 additional pieces of cardstock that are the same color as your base. These 3 strips are going to measure 1 3/4 by 4 inches. I'm going to just set those off to the side for a moment. And as I said, don't worry if you're lost and confused. Like I said, I will have all of the measurements in the blog post. So we're going to go ahead and add our little levers and we're going to accordion fold our card so that it will make it easier for us to line up and put these together. So you're going to take the first or the top lever or little piece there, and we're going to line it up on the left panel fold of our card. And you want to make sure that the top edges are lined up. Super easy. I'll zoom in here a little bit so that you can see a little bit better. And we just want to make sure that we only put the adhesive on the side that is going to be attached to the panel because, you have to be able to slide the card apart. So I'm just going to line up these 2 edges, get those together. I tried to do it while I was holding it, but I ended up not being able to do that. So I had to lay it flat down again, but I just wanted to show you what I was doing there. So I'm just going to secure that and see how we have our 2 edges, our top lines synced up together. So now I'll come in with the bottom piece and I'm going to do the same thing. This is going to go on the bottom left and then we'll do the middle will go on the right side. But again, just repeating that same process. I'm going to just put a little adhesive there, tape runner, and this time I'm going to line up the bottom edge. And you want to make sure that they're lined up so that your card stands up correctly. The thing I like about these folds is that it all lays flat so you can mail it easily, but it's still a fun way to add some interest to your card. So now with the middle panel, it's easier if you close the card because then you can see exactly where you need to put your adhesive. I'm just adding some adhesive here. And then I went ahead and laid down the middle panel right in between the top Again, making sure you only put adhesive on the one side, and you can start to see how it's all coming together. Now, if I had and been thinking a little bit ahead, I probably would have gone ahead and added the stencil panels before attaching them, the blue panels to the card. However, I didn't. So now we're just taking our stencil pattern that we did, and we're just going to put these on the three little panels that we have there. And this is why it was important to keep it in order. Now, if you did not want to do stenciling, I did the stencil because it was in the kit and I wanted to use it and show it. Would be even quicker if you did some pattern paper. Like I said, just make sure that if you use pattern paper, stencil, or whatever, that you keep your pieces in order so that they are uniform and look good on the front of your card and they're not all out of whack when you put the front of your card together. So here you can see it's coming together. It gets a little wonky when you fold it, but just takes a couple seconds. Just slide it all back in. So now we have our center panel. This is the cute little garden scene that we stamped earlier. And I'm just going to add that to the center of our card. Really easy. I'll just throw in uh, run some tape runner along there really quick. That done. And put that down in there. If you wanted to, you could, you could not do as much and just leave, or not do a scene at all and just leave that for your personal message. I just thought it would be fun. Or you could add a personal message and some extra white cardstock to the side panels. Okay, so now we're going to add our decorations on the front. I've gone ahead and saved a little bit of time, and I just stamped and die cut with the coordinating die cuts that are in this set. The stuff that's going to go on our front panel, which, as you see there, is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I'm just going to arrange this fun little bike scene. Again, I use the same color inks from the center page for the front here. Just going to add this little grass panel on here, and I just trimmed off the edge to match the card. Super easy. And then I do need to add my sentiments. It just says hi there, and I'm going to lay this down, kind of set up where I want my stuff to go. And then I'll put that in my Misty here in just a second. Figure out where I want all of those to go. Using my little mini Misty today. And then once I have my sentiment where I want it to go, I will move all of the other stuff out of the way. And then I'm just adding a little bit of tape here because I didn't want to use a magnet. Like I've said before, sometimes my Misty door doesn't close all the way when I use my magnet. So just gonna pop that in there. That where I want it to be. And then close my door. Pick that sentiment up. And I stamped it with peacock feathers to match the blue in the card. Thought it went well with the card theme. Little good pressure on there. And then one more little pass there. Now pull that up. And then I just took some liquid adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the pieces together very quickly. I used some dimension adhesive on the bicycle to help it stand up a little bit more, pop it up a bit more. And I know there's this awkward silence here while I'm just figuring out getting all this glue down. Sorry about that. What should we talk about? So yeah, fun folding techniques. When I decided to use or to showcase some fun folding techniques, I had two requirements or two things I wanted to make sure. One was that they could all be used with 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I don't usually have 12 by 12 cardstock, so I have to go and get it special if I want to use it. So I'll try to use what I have on hand. And then also they had to be able to lay flat so that you can mail the card, and then also that they just had to be easy and fun to do. There's a lot of really great folding techniques out there that have like stairs and little steps and cutouts and everything, and those are great to do. But I just wanted to keep it fun and creative, but also manageable and easy to do as well. So as I said, I'm just gonna come in here and add those last little bits there. That's our little scene on the front. And then I'm going to attach it to a 3x3 piece of cardstock. I don't even know what it's from my stash. I use a lot of different cardstock. I just pull what I need, what colors look good. And now we're going to use that same color, which is a 4.25 by 5.5. And we're just going to take the whole card that we've made, and we're going to just put it flat down on there. And so it just adds another little bit of interest for your card base. And when you open it up, it'll all be together. So I'm just going to add that, some tape runner adhesive along here. And we'll just lay that flat down. And it doesn't affect the way that the card opens. Like I said, it just adds another quick little layer of interest for your card. A little bit more color, a little bit of pop of color there. And see, and then open it up. Super cute. And then get that closed, and we'll add our front panel with our cute little bicycle on there. And we want to make sure, so when we pull it all apart, it all goes back together nicely. So you just want to make sure that when you add your adhesive to your front panel, that you only add adhesive to the top of it, because you have to be able to make sure that the card will open up. So only put adhesive along the top, otherwise your card, it'll get stuck on that bottom lever there, which is going in the opposite direction. So get that lined up where I want it to be. And then super quickly, just adding that tape runner along there. And we will just lay that down there. And then we finally have all of the elements of our first little fun fold lever card. That opens up, and it's just a super cute surprise for the recipient that gets it. It mails easily, but it just has a little fun bit of creativity for them. And you can see it stands up, and you open it up. Okay, let's move on to our second card. This is another card featuring that same stamp set. This is our base, and we're going to start out with a 8.5 by 4.25 card base. And this time I made sure that the camera was on so you can actually see me doing all of the steps. And we're going to score it at 5.5, right down there, really quick. And then you're going to have a second color or second piece, the same color, that's 3 by 8, scored down the middle at 4. And then what we'll do is we'll come in and we'll just fold that, get a nice little crease with our bone folder, and then this will fit in to there, that second piece, and you can kind of see how that's all going to open up and come together. In addition, you're going to need another piece that is 2 3/4 by 4. That's going to go on the left side of our card. And then you're going to need another piece that is 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to use the stencil once again from the set, but for this piece, this green piece, I'm actually going to be doing some embossing with it. I decided to add a little bit of a fun technique here, and I'm going to mist it first with a little bit of water that I've mixed some perfect pearl powder in. And then I just laid down a cloth here because I didn't want my surface to get wet that I was still working on. I didn't drown it. I just gave it a couple little spritz. If you don't know this little trick, if you mist your water before, or if you mist your card before embossing it, it can help with the impression. And so I thought it would just be kind of fun to add a little bit of interest with the shimmer water in there. So I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum 6, and for me, that involves laying down my stencil and the paper, and then my mat and my embossing plate. And I just quickly ran that through there, and then that gave me this really fun impression. You can see there was a little bit of sparkle there. With the white piece of cardstock, that 5 1/4 by 4 sheet, I'm going to go ahead and do some stenciling with some green ink. I thought the green leaf ink matched obviously with the green leaf cardstock that I used. And I'm just going to quickly go along here. I'm just doing I'm starting sort of more concentrated color in the center, and then I'm just kind of fading it out. I didn't want to do a really extensive or deep coverage. I left some of the edges a little more faded. It was very quick. Like I said, I'm laying down a little bit of color here just to add a little bit of interest, and you'll see it kind of fades out towards the bottom there, and that was the effect that I was going for. And you can see when you put them together that they pair very nicely together. So we're going to go ahead and start adding some of our pieces. This card comes together pretty quickly. I'm just going to lay it flat. I'm going to lay the card flat to make it easier for me to adhere the piece together. So we'll go ahead and add our center panel in the middle here. Just some quick adhesive, easy peasy. I'm going to lay that down right there. Lay that down. And then in order, like I said, in order to get to make it easier to lay that adhesive down, I am just going to flip it over, add some adhesive there onto the back of that embossed piece that we did. And with the perfect pearls, it actually is very shiny. Looks good. I'm going to turn it over and lay it flat to make it easier to put the adhesive on. I just put that together. Okay, so this is the inside flap, or the flap that is in the inside and the outside. Like I said, it measures 3 by 8, and I'm going to add another piece of glitter cardstock. This glitter cardstock came in the kit, and it measures 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, which you just saw up there a second ago. And I'm just gonna lay that down. I just liked the pink and the green together. This piece right here, we're gonna add just a little bit. This white cardstock, it measures the same as the pink glitter cardstock, that 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm just going to do some quick and simple stamping here. This is going to be a birthday card, which you'll see the birthday sentiment will actually go on the front. And again, a new stamp. So I'm just going to run my fingers along it really quickly to kind of gum it up a bit. New stamps that will help you with getting a good impression. And I just do my quick stamping. This is picked raspberry, some fun pinks and greens again with this card. A lot of the same color themes that I used in the with the first card. This stamp set to me just really screamed fun spring and summer colors. So I wanted to just make sure and take advantage of that and use those colors, make some bright, fun, cheerful cards for you today. The sentiment says, may your year ahead be full of adventure. And I thought that was really cute to go with the birthday sentiment and the bike. And again, I have just the tiny little stamps that go with the set, the little flowers and hearts that we used on our first card. And I'm just going to add those along the bottom and a little bit at the top with the same colors with my little block right here, just going in and quickly stamping those, adding some little hearts, some more little flowers. Super easy. I didn't want to, cover the whole card. That way it does give you just a little bit of room to write a quick little message. So just going to add that opposite of our pink fun glitter paper. You could also save that other side for a personal message if you wanted to, but like I said, I wanted to take advantage of the pink glitter paper, so I'm using that. I'm just going to put that down there. So now this is going to be the front of the card, and I have another piece of cardstock that measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then a white panel that measures just a little slightly smaller than that. So I'm going to just add our green piece right here, staying with the green theme that matches the rest of the card, obviously. So I'll just go ahead and attach this. And then, of course, I realized once I did that I probably should have gone ahead and done the stamping, the outside there first. But, once again, I was a little ahead of myself. So again, as I did with the first video, I went ahead and stamped and die cut out some of the fun little pieces from the set that I've been using. This is actually the other bicycle with the kit. I wanted to use both of them, and this one was really cute as well. So I'm just going to lay that into my MISTI as I did with the first one so that I can figure out where I want my birthday sentiment to go. And we'll just get that situated. And while I'm doing that, we can talk a little bit more about the fun folding techniques. Like I said, these are just two that I have for you today. These are not new in the crafting world. I did not invent these. I did not come up with these. You can do a Pinterest search or a Google search or a YouTube search for fun folding techniques, and I'm sure that you will find countless other ones. I really enjoyed doing these, and so I thought I would do my own little take on them and share them with you as well. So now I'm just going to use my peacock feathers. That was the same color that I stamped the bicycle in, and so that will tie it all together. It just says happy birthday, which, like I said, goes along with that. The inside sentiment says, may your year ahead be full of adventures. I really liked that. I thought that was really a cute little saying. So I'll pull that off there, set that off, and clean it off a little bit later. And now I can add my, build up my little scene here. This time I wanted the bicycle to kind of be behind the grass, almost as though it was sitting like inside the grass, like maybe the grass is a little, tall around the bicycle. So I'm going to lay my bicycle down flat with some liquid adhesive. And I'm just going to run that all along there and then put that right down there. Push that down. And then I will come in and I'm going to pop up the little grass piece here, which I needed to, with some foam adhesive, trim that down a little bit so that it all fits together or fits in there. And I'm just going to pop that on to the front there. And then, like I said, you can see it's kind of as though the bicycle is standing in a little bit of a taller grass. And then I have this, the kit comes with these really cute little pendant banners that you can put on the back of the bicycle. And I just added a little heart there. And then I added a little bit of glitter pen, Winkostella or Spectrum Noir glitter on the heart there just to add some fun interest. Okay, so now we're going to finish putting the card together. And so the way that, you can see how it works here, we're going to lay that down right in there. And then when you close the card, it all lays flat. And then when you open it up, you actually open it up, twice, basically. It's got like a double fold there. So I'm just figuring out where I want that to go. And again, if I were to do this again, my, not thinking ahead, I very rarely do, in case you haven't noticed with my videos. I should have actually just put this part down first and then did all of my building my scene with my bicycle and stuff, but it worked out fine. It was not a worry. It just would have probably made it a little easier to add the adhesive. So I just wanted to make sure that I had it where I wanted it to be. I'll push that down and then we'll close that. And that's our fun little bicycle birthday card. Super cute little fold. You can open it up. You could also add extra paper over there on the left-hand side if you wanted to add an extra, either some more glitter paper or another space for your personal message. But again, here's a quick look at the cards we did today. I hope you enjoyed these fun folding techniques. I am sorry I only have 2 to share with you today, but hopefully, you enjoyed them, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.